Find your path with the knowledge of others and become an illuminator for those who struggle. Guide their way just by being true and being in alignment, because it comes naturally to you. On self-discovery wisdom, we share to find inspiration with lessons for millions. We hope you listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another edition of Choose Positive Living right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I am your host, Sarah Troy, and all the way from Austria is the wonderful Romana,
That's an Earl.
known as Romana Rocks. So much easier for us Western people. Today, we're going to be talking about a wonderful summit that she has put on, the Voices of Growth Summit, which I'm very honored to be a part of, but also, what her work is all about, all the books that she's written, etc. She's an author, a writing trainer in Salzburg, Austria, and has written and published 11 books between 2013 and now. She's dedicated her working life to writing and all about literature. Her radio show, The Literature Hour, just started its second year and is well known in the region. Romanov is a passionate trainer as well. And in 2025, she had the idea to bring together some trainers, coaches from all over the world to talk about their growth and success. She is the founder of the Voices of Growth Summit and Voices of Growth and Success Summit, which will go live on April 1st. There will be an opportunity to be able to get the recordings afterwards, but otherwise it's going to be 2 speakers a day for 2 weeks. She's a long-term traveler who travels 3 to 4 months a year in her old Volkswagen camper, supporting people to be brave and just travel. She has already published 10 books and is working on her 11th. With this, she has discovered a system that allows young authors of every age to overcome the overwhelm of getting started on a first book. She offers free webinars and writing courses for those who really want to get started, with being a certified laughter yoga trainer as one of the many credentials. She brings joy and understanding to people on just how amazing they truly are. Excuse me. We're going to be talking about many of her books. They are in her own language. I don't know if you have any books in English, but we're going to be talking all about that, but also this Voices of Growth Summit with the heartfelt voices from around the world come together, people who deeply care about humanity and wish to share their wisdom, strength, and hope. This summit is a space where inspiration meets purpose, where messages of inner and outer growth can truly make a difference. And it's free, folks, which is the golden knob on the box there. It's free because wisdom should be free. For people to gather the wisdom and know how to, yes, that's always a paid thing. But when we're putting out wisdom, I believe it should be free, because we need more and more people to embrace it. Embrace the inspiration that begets the invitation, embrace what's possible, embrace that feeling, perhaps I can. And I think when we give it to the people free, it becomes something that gathers the wind beneath their wings, which is so very important. Welcome to the show, Romana.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. It's an honor to be on your show.
I'm delighted to have you here, a really accomplished woman here. But, what I get the feeling of is that everything that you do is coming from a heightened spirit. You're doing it because you love it. And that is something that so many people fall into careers or fall into doing something because maybe they're good at it or everybody else is doing it. And they forget that wonderful 4-letter word, love it. Right? 6 letters, love it. And if you don't love it, you really can't give it your all, can you?
Yeah, that's so true. I have to say I'm a multi-passionate person, and I always acted out of my passion my whole life. So of course, sometimes I had to grab a job just for like getting the food on the table. Yeah. But nevertheless, as long as you have that passion-driven doing, then life is colorful and fulfilled.
Yeah, and that's if we don't have that, what do we have? What are we here for? Right? We need the bread and butter, and then as we mature, we learn how to turn our passion into bread and butter. But initially, those either corporate jobs or those other jobs are all wonderful experience you're gathering while you're in discovery of what your passion is.
Yeah. I think that many people, at the beginning of their career, they think it is passion because
Mm,
it's new. And of course, sometimes it brings a lot of money, and that's cool.
yes.
But I'm an astrologer too. That's my secret passion. And many people come to my office and ask, in the mid, do you say middle ages? Like
Yes.
50 plus?
Yeah.
And I say, I've been doing this and that all my life. And now I have that feeling that something is missing.
Hmm.
Can you see what I'm really here for? So,
Yeah.
what is my work here on this earth? And this is so exciting to find it out together with the clients.
Mm.
I was in the luxury situation. I always knew what my passion was. And I always tried my best to fulfill those wishes. For example, traveling with that very old Volkswagen van, which turned 40 last year.
Oh, wow.
So that is quite an
They
age
don't
for a
make them like
car.
that anymore, right? They were
No.
solid back then.
And so I really love this van life and doing my writing while I'm like sitting at the seafront or
Mm.
watching a sunset. That's
Mm.
real life.
But it's also because you're absorbing life around you. Through your travels, you're meeting people, you're seeing different things to what you would normally see. You're seeing different people interact with life, and it always becomes that muse, for the writing. And it's like being immersed in the current energy. Then that gets transcribed to the page.
Yes. It's like when I'm traveling, I sometimes have that feeling. It's like being in motion
Mm.
sets free the emotion.
Yes,
And then,
yes.
ooh, and then you are in that flow. And of course, meeting all those wonderful people,
Mm.
travelers, or just people. I have a tiny dog, a Chihuahua, and most people are like fascinated. And oh, she's so cute. And I know that in like 5 European languages.
Yeah, yes,
And
yes,
that's so easy then to connect to people and just find out that most people on this earth are really friendly and it's a
yes.
good place to be here.
Everybody wants to be friendly. I think everybody at their core wants to be kind. People just lose their way or get caught up in the hype. We're
Mm.
seeing here in North America right now and various parts of the world, a great deal of hysteria. And, it's been
Yeah.
stirred up by just a few, a few little oligarchs. And they're creating this disruption that is happening with the rest of the world. But when you get people together from different walks of life, different languages, different faiths, different belief systems, and they all start talking common denominator, foundation, root cause, moral compass, it's pretty well the same. Everybody's looking for that same thing, is that we've been
Mm.
conditioned to chase it in a different way, and or we've been brought up in a different way. But when we look at, like, we may have different color skin or different faiths or different languages, different cultures, but fundamentally we are the same. Why can we not embrace each other from the core?
Yeah. That's one thing I tell my students when they feel overwhelmed. So no matter in which courses they are, the moment they say, "Oh, I can't stand it. The world is so bad and hectic and stressful whatsoever," I tell them, "Listen, why don't you pretend you are in a monastery and don't read the news for like 4 months?" you know, just just instead of reading the news, do some meditation.
Mm,
In meditation practice, we say feed the white cloud, right?
yes.
Send your good feelings, your good emotion, your good thoughts, and
Mm,
don't feed the black cloud, which is the bad news. And then some of them tell me, but I feel stupid if I don't know what's going on.
Mm.
And I tell them, listen, I studied political science. And I stopped reading the news 2.5 years ago. I don't feel stupid. Why would you feel stupid? I could say, oh, I studied the whole thing and understand so much, and now I stop it. Oh, I'm stupid. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
just stop for like half a year, and you will become a happier person.
Mm. And if you do want to be engaged, choose the right channels to be engaged in. And right now, what we're seeing is the independents that are bringing us the right news, the fact news, um, but also the hopeful news, because they're bringing us fact of what's really happening, but they're also sharing those that are standing up. And I'm very much about accountability, and that accountability is I put out my own show this week on International Women's Day. I call it International Women's Decade, not day, right? And the celebrating of who you are, why you are, what you're here to do, whom you're here to serve, who you're here to inspire, who inspires you. And the more we raise our own elevation, our own energy, our own frequency, our own state of loving life, the more we actually become the solution to the problem, and we tilt the scales, right? That's the thing is, if you need to be engaged in the right arenas, not the news. They're all bought and they're all biased, but go to the independents that are articulate, that are intelligent, that are resourceful, and that are going to bring you the actual true facts, but also give you the hope of what you can do about it. But at the same time, celebrate who you are, why you are, and what you're here to do. And that self-discovery of who you are today is, oh, this is who I am today. But tomorrow you may discover something else about yourself and you go, I didn't know I could do that. Right. And it's exciting. Keep the wonderment alive, right?
Mm, yeah, yeah, that's exactly the thing. Never stop experimenting,
Yes,
finding out, learn a new language. There is so many things to do out there,
exactly.
and it keeps you not only happy but also young.
Agree.
Mm,
Agree. I
yeah.
have a what I call a butterfly daughter. She's just traveled her 50th country. And she works so that she can go traveling and explore, the ruins, the lifestyles, the this, the that. And for her, it's all about absorbing the cultures that she goes to. And this is what I did BC before children. And she didn't have children, so she's still doing it. And had I not had children, I'm sure I would have been too. And for her, it's all about the culture and the experience and the people and the nectar of those people. And I
Mhm.
think if we could step outside of our own fear and ego and limited culture and embrace the other cultures around us, we'd just see what a feast it is.
Yeah. And this is one of the things I tell my clients, for example, because there are many women uh, coming to me and asking for an astrological reading. And I tell them, step outside.
Mm,
Maybe now you are retired, explore the world. Many of them tell me, I'm I'm not brave enough to
mm,
like do it on my own. I need another person, but I'm divorced or don't have someone whatsoever. And I tell them, but there are so many people out there. You don't
yes.
need to travel, two of you. It's
Yeah,
just
go and meet the
try
single
it.
people that are traveling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes, yes.
And so I really try to tell people, be this tiny little brave,
Mm,
and travel for 4 days or a week on your own, and you will find out you can do it.
yeah.
Don't be scared. You can go for dinner by yourself. You will meet someone there. It doesn't hurt.
If
And
I
that's
waited to be taken out for dinner, I'd never go anywhere. I've always, even when I was younger, would take myself out for dinner. I'd go to a five-star restaurant and people would look at me, what's she doing here? Is you here to pick someone up? No, I'm there to people watch. Have a good meal. Why am I waiting for someone or being with bad company when I can enjoy a good meal and I'm busy watching people? And people say so much with their bodies, don't they? You may not hear the conversation, but you can see the conversation in their bodies. And it's wonderful. It's fascinating. And I think, like, stop selling yourself short by saying, well, I don't know if I can. You don't know what you can do until you try, right? Explore.
Never stop exploring.
No, there's no
Just
age limit.
do it. Yeah, that's so true. I now have a lady in one of my courses. She's almost 70. And she now said, I want to write a book about my family. That's a family. They founded a company in the 1900s, beginning of the 1900s. And she then said, I don't know if somebody wants to read it, but nevertheless, we're going to do it. I want to write that down. And I think that's so brave. Just that's completely new for her. She never has done that before. The research is driving her crazy, but she's on her way. It's lovely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been, as you can see before these books behind me, I wrote my own book in 69, not at 69, not in 60, at 69. And then all of these other books that I've been a part of the anthology of came after that. I'm 71 now. And then also at 69, I produced a book, an anthology, Our Forgotten Children. And I only started the podcasting business at the age of 57, right? And it's like, no, it's just another chapter in your life. And the older you get, the more wisdom you bring with that chapter. So, do not think, well, no, I need to go out to pasture now. My next book is Our Forgotten Seniors. We're going to celebrate all that seniors have achieved. We're also going to talk about the challenges they face, the stigmatization and everything else, and the warning to the youth of how to prepare for it. But stop selling us short. We've still got so much to give and so much life to live. This is the time that you can truly give yourself permission to do so. Just do it.
That's the secret,
Yes.
I think, on getting older, that you are now allowed to. So I have the strong feeling I really don't care what people think.
Yes. 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 I mean, do you have any control over what they think?
Never.
Right? So why get hot and bothered about it? Everybody's going to have an opinion. And really, quite honestly, it's their opinion. You don't have to accept it. Right? So let's let that one go.
So wonderful. I really want to tell about that. Tell especially women who think they now have to, in that last third of their life, have to stay at home and watch the grandchildren. Or, sometimes they have that very old-fashioned thoughts and they don't dare to step outside. So I want to tell them, hey,
we can do it all.
Life,
I work 3 days a week doing my shows. 2 days I look after the grandchildren. Jenny at the weekend as a family, we get together and I do some admin and I take 1 day for myself, right? I get the best of both worlds. Right. But, it was, no, I'm not going to give up my passion and my meaningful purpose. I love my grandchildren, but I'm not going to step in and be mother number 2. Right. I'm there to support. I'm there to be grandma, but I still have a job to do. Balance.
That's so amazing, isn't it? When you realize, hey, I can do both.
Exactly.
I don't have to be stuck.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is that word obligation, right? And it's like, there's certain things that we're a little obligated to do in supporting family when they need help, etc. But then there's this other word called boundaries. And you've got to make sure with your obligation that there are boundaries in place.
Yeah. Most important, I think, with everything you do, it's very important to not give yourself up with forgetting about your boundaries.
Yes.
No matter if it's like a company job or if you're self-employed. Many self-employed, especially women, again, overwork because they think they have to, and say yes to everybody at every hour of the day. And this is so important, to just say stop at one point and give yourself time and get back your energy.
Yes.
Find something you love. And if it's just like resting, sitting there on the couch, reading a book, just
so be it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, as we get older, we also realize we do not have the same exuberant energy that we did when we were young. And, some of us get physical challenges that say, no, you're just not going to be able to do it. And it's like you have to honor your own energy. What do I need to recharge? What arena am I in that drains me? What are my limitations? And everybody says, break through the limitations. If you've got physical limitations, you've got limitations, right? It's like, why sweat it? That they're there. Look at what you can do. Stop focusing on what you can't do, but you've just got to learn in the balance, right? And I think we're so busy still trying to fit into the expectation of society and everything else. It's like, please let that go. Listen in to who you are, what you need, what you want to do, what your passion is, what your gift is to the world. Honor that. Forget about what everybody else says you should do. Take the should and hand it back to them.
Oh, that's such a nice picture. I love that one. Just with a little wrapping paper.
Exactly. You can do it politely. But I think this is, as you get older, and you've had all these women and men submit to this summit, and they've all shared their own kind of chapter, their own growth, their own struggles, or their own triumphs. And it's, I think what we need to understand, it's not just a nice story you're listening to. You are listening to some wisdom. I have a motto on my shows of listen, learn, and apply. Well, that goes the same with this summit. If you truly listen and you really learn from each person and you take that and apply, it may only pivot you a little bit. It may just be a different perspective. It may be a great big huge redirect, but you don't know unless you truly listen and be willing to learn, because that's what the summit's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. I've been a guest at some other summits, and sometimes it's just one sentence.
Yes.
You listen to a speaker, and then there's the one sentence where you think, wow, now that really struck me like a lightning.
Yes, exactly.
And that's lately I heard one little, it's not a one sentence, but a little story from Louise Hay. I highly admire her.
Yes.
And she said, if you wouldn't like dig in yesterday's garbage to prepare today's dinner.
Right.
So why do you dig in yesterday's mental garbage to prepare your future, your new experiences? Ooh, God, that one got me.
Hey, it didn't work yesterday.
Nice
it's not going to work today. Yeah. But we need sometimes, it makes so much sense, but we need to hear that sometimes in a statement that kind of go, oh my God, of course I know this. But, like, that's what I've been doing. No wonder it's not working, because you're unaware. And, everything about these podcasts, your books, your work, the summit, it's all about awareness. And when we're aware, we care. When we care, we do something about it, but we can't be unaware.
That's exactly the thing. And that's what you just said, that listen closely.
Yes.
Just listen. And listening is awareness. Being here in this very moment. One of my speakers, Paul Barnett from Australia, he's a breathwork trainer. And he teaches that breathing
Yes.
deeply is the easiest way to get you here and now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
And that's the only moment that counts, because yesterday's gone and tomorrow hasn't happened yet. So,
Exactly. The gift of the
and
present.
oh, lovely.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm very excited for his speech.
Yes. And that's the thing. Each person is, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get, right? And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, explore each chocolate. Don't gobble the whole box at the same time. That's why it's 2 shows a day, right? It's just a
Yes.
couple of chocolates. Digest them, let the flavor really sit with you. What does it mean to you? Right? And don't try and devour it all at once, because then you get oversaturated and you don't appreciate. So, having it at 2 a day where you can really digest and really hear what they have to say, then you're more open even to receive the next day.
Yes, especially there are some different topics and some very, strange ones on one day. So I tried my best to put the speakers in an exciting way together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the secret for every summit. So whenever I listen to a summit, I just have my little notebook next to me, and then make some notes. And of course, there are some speakers you don't like. That's,
Yes.
yeah, things like that happen. But
Yes.
there's the next day, and then it's like the box of chocolate you just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's
Exactly
what I
what that's
like so
about
much.
is, yeah, just learn to
Yeah.
devour, learn to embrace. Yeah, you've got, obviously, when people sign up, who all the guest speakers are. I don't know when each one of them are coming out, whether it's going in the order that you've presented here, but that's when you sign up. You'll see who is going to speak that day,
Mhm.
and it's like you obviously can listen to it at any point in the day. It's not like you've got to listen to it at this time of the day. So, right. So put your
Yeah.
headphones on while you're driving, while
Yeah.
you're cleaning the house, while you're doing mundane work. Um, and, just make sure you have a notebook by your side, because, there is those statements that come up, like, and, oh, I've got to write that down. Right. And that's what
Yeah.
it's about. Write that down. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so profound. I've got to write that down. And that's, yes, we are presenting to you our passion, our the ways that we've grown, how we're in our growth, but it's also for you to participate in your receiving.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And I make it a little bit easier for the guests. So they will receive an email at 6 a.m. in the morning, which tells them who are the speakers today.
Right.
And then all the speakers will stay online for 2 weeks. So they can like rewatch it if they like on
Yes.
Friday find out, oh, that Monday was so great. I want to listen to Monday again.
Mhm.
So that's
That's great, because
absolutely,
obviously
yeah.
that we're looking at two different, many different time zones as well,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So that
Yeah.
isn't like, got to listen now. That's the middle of my night. No, it's like it's there for you for 2 weeks, that you can dip into that box of chocolates when you
Yeah.
so like your time period in that 2 week frame. And then, as I said, you'll be coming up with a way for people to be able to purchase the whole thing afterwards if they so
Mm.
wish. And that's the thing. I know how hard it is to put on a summit. I have, or how hard it is to gather people to get their work in and do all the work that you're doing. And a lot of people think, oh, just another summit. No, appreciate the time and the effort that she has put in here, because it's very important, that we do honor that and respect that. And I do very much respect that you invited me to be a part of it. Very honored. Um, but obviously the people that participate have got to do their own sharing. But it's also, if you're inspired by a speaker, it's never too late for anyone to sign up in those 2 weeks. Right. So you've listened to something, and you go, oh, you've got to listen to this. Sign up and listen to this one. Or there's some other
Mhm.
ones you've got to listen to. Participate, share, right? I like people to have podcast parties where they all then share what they got out of it. We'll do the same with these. Everybody listen to the summits and go, well, which one really struck you and why? And broaden the wisdom, broaden that knowledge, broaden that feeling, ignite it in each other. Let it live on.
Yeah, that's first of all, it's of course possible to sign in whenever they want, whenever
Yes.
guests want. And that was my decision to keep the speeches all online for 2 weeks, because if I say they are with other summits, like they are online for 48 hours, where
Yeah.
do those 48 hours start? We
Yes.
have guests and participants from Australia,
Yeah.
from Canada, the US, from India. So it's all over
Yeah.
the globe.
You're
And
right.
and that's what I love so much. It's like we built a little line with
International.
people holding their
Yes,
hands
yes.
all around the on the
All around
globe.
the
It's
globe, which is
amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
international wisdom.
yeah,
Yeah, which is
absolutely.
wonderful.
With different topics, and
Mm,
some of them are just like talking. Some are highly interactive, what I really love. And it's an amazing bunch of people who came together here. I
yeah.
really, really love it.
And all different flavors. Be honest, anybody who's listened to my shows and especially my own show, they'll know that most of the time it's press record and see what kind of comes out. And I knew I wanted to talk about what is growth and personal growth, but I just let it flow. And then other people are more organized and structured in the way that they're presenting, right? And other people practical tips, etc. And it's like each one of them has a reason to be in your life, right? Because we're not just one channel. We are many different channels that we need to listen to in order to have it help us on all levels of life. So it's just, dip in, and please dip in for more than 2 seconds. This headliner thing of like, oh no, the first two words didn't get me, so I moved on. Like maybe these summits aren't for you. These are for the people that are hungry for wisdom, that want to be inspired, that want to learn something, that want to apply something to their lives. It's for you. It isn't for the people who want to download an app, live for me. Elon Musk
Yeah,
is doing that for you, not us.
that's so true. What I really would love to happen is what happened to me with the first summit I participated.
Mm,
um, I was like a different person afterwards. That
yes,
was a 10-day summit, and I was like, oh God,
yes.
there were so many topics that really got me, especially when it comes to nowadays rush. Everybody's running and everything is going on so quickly. And do I have to be that fast?
Yes.
Oh, no. I've been a skydiver for 14 years. I have over 400 jumps out
Wow.
of the plane. That is really fast. Do I need this today? No, it's been a wonderful time, but I don't do that anymore. And that's what I think. There are times
Yeah.
in life when you realize, oh, I can take time now and
Yes.
see what wants to get inside me
Mm,
on wisdom, passion,
mm.
or maybe just a little laugh.
Yeah.
And then you say, oh God, that was funny. Cool. Yeah.
Right. That was
Take the
joy. That
time
was
to,
joy. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about age is that that paying attention. And sometimes it's the nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and cosmic 2x4 that's going to make you pay the attention, right? But I used to be the hare, and I'm a visionary. I'm one of these people. If you're building a hotel, I know who's going to come, what music they're going to listen to, what we're going to give them, how they're going to feel. I mean, that's my package. The building blocks of it, the blueprint of it, no, right? But it's come on, let's build it, because the enthusiasm was there. Why can't everybody else see it this way? I've now, through experience, life, and a few cosmic 2x4s, become the tortoise. And in being the tortoise, I'm moving slower, but I'm getting to meet some wonderful people along the way. I'm beginning to, I most certainly have definitely understood more about the foundation and the rooting and the core of life so much more. And I'm quite happy to take my time. Quite happy because I'm getting so much more back in taking my time. But youth are meant to go fast. So
Yeah.
if youth mix with wisdom, aged, middle to whatever, and take that wisdom and apply it to the exuberance, wow, what will we have? Right? So every
Oh
every
yeah.
stage in life has a reason, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's what I really love watching young people nowadays is that they in my yeah, that's what I see. They travel much more, so
Yes.
they really wanna get to know the world. When I was young, that was so exotic in my country that I want
Mm.
to travel all time. So I've been to the US 8 times, and my parents asked me when I got there the second time, "But you've been there. Why are you going again?" um, Listen, it's a real big country.
Exactly. There's an awful lot to see. Absolutely. Absolutely. And every time you go back, you're going to see it from a different perspective,
Mm,
right? From
yes.
you being a different person. And that's the thing is that who I was yesterday isn't necessarily who I am today. I've evolved, I've grown deeper, I've, broadened. And so you're going to take who you are today into the experience of today and tomorrow, not yesterday. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's it. And of course, the countries change as well.
yeah,
You have to tell different story every time you go there. It's amazing, and that's what I think that young people nowadays are much easier with to just go somewhere, travel,
yes.
explore the world. Yeah,
And, I think,
yeah.
here in North America, a lot of people in Canada would go to the States. It's next door. It's easier. There's a lot to see. And of course, now it's just due to the situation, everybody going, but you know what, this big place called Europe. Let's go and explore that. And, and broaden her horizon, because if a door closes, it's not the end of anything. There's another door right behind you, open and welcoming, right? Go and
Mm.
explore that. It's like in anything in life is it's not the end of everything. It's just the end of that chapter. And there are so many more chapters to go and explore.
Yes, that's for me as a writer. It's like life is a
Yes,
book, of course,
yes,
right?
yes.
And there are story twists in it. Things might happen,
Mm.
adventures. Sometimes it's a little bit slower and easier, but you have like a huge novel in your hands, and every day you turn one page.
Exactly.
That's
Now
how
you
life
do have
is.
some books in English, um, but most of them
Yeah,
are in your language.
one of them got translated. It's that's a do-it-yourself book on how to color fabrics with
Right.
plants.
Yes, natural dyeing with
And
plants. Hmm.
yes, that's the only English translation I have up to now. So I started my writing career with those do-it-yourself books like gardening. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
passionate gardener since the age of 4. And, got everything from my grandma and all the knowledge, and so I wrote the book for her mainly. And then I did one book with my mom, which is like printing on
Hmm.
fabrics with
Hmm.
those old-fashioned stamps they use in India, for example,
Oh,
still use it
right.
there. Yeah. And then there was the dyeing book in German language and English. And then I got into novel writing.
Hmm.
So I started with my first novel in, when was it done? In 2020. Unfortunately, then the crisis happened, so I
Yes.
couldn't do any book presentations. That
No,
was, oh,
everything online. Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
that's where the world became more online.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did the
And
presentations then 3 years after, so that was
yes.
good.
And the thing is about writing is, like, my brother is a professional author, and this is what he taught at the master's level in university, right? But,
Mhm.
and I have dyslexia. So for me to write was always very, very difficult until I got a computer. And then it became, with the correct, and I could rearrange, because in handwriting, I couldn't even read my own. And I found a voice, right? And,
Mm.
all of my books have been written in my late 60s or 70. And it is never too late, never ever too late to explore. And this whole thing about, well, who's going to read it? That really isn't your problem. It is just write it with conviction and passion. And those that are ready to hear the story will pick it up. And, obviously we've got to do some due diligence of promoting and etc., letting people know it's out there. But at the same time, it's like with these podcasts when they're out there, they're out of my control of who listens, how they listen. Same with
Yeah.
the summit, who listens, what they get out of it, out of our control. All we can do is present. It's the same with the book, but let it come from the heart, not the head, right? The head has to be governed by the wisdom, which is the soul, the heart, and the spirit, to actually understand the knowledge and clarity. So don't get driven by your head of what you think people want to see or read, right? Let it come from the wisdom of your heart, your soul, and your
Mm.
spirit, and it will draw the knowledge that is needed to be on the page, right?
Yeah.
So otherwise, we're going to write from expectation and not from heart and soul dictation.
That's the most important thing I tell people who are in my courses,
Mm.
because I tell them, even if people love your book, how many people will write a letter, an email to an
Mm.
author and tell them, I love your book.
Yeah.
I mean, do you do it? No, they say, no, I
Yeah.
don't. I've never done that. So see, you
Exactly.
will not get those
Accolades.
emails.
Yeah.
But I got one letter, a handwritten letter from my publisher, which one reader sent there. And I still have it. And it's
Mm.
like, oh, there's one person who
Yes.
really loved my book that much that they wanted to write a letter. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. That feeling is amazing. And so it's not important on how to know how many people have read it or did
Exactly.
they like it or not. No, it's what you put out into the world. And I always say it's not that important what you do with
Mm.
that book, but what that book does to you.
Yes. Oh,
So
yes. Yes. And
people
others who read it.
sometimes, yeah, use their writing as trauma healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just soothing their soul because they are writing one book after the other.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I have a writing club, an
Mm.
online writing club. So we meet there and we just write. There's
Mm.
no talking or teaching or anything, but there are authors, young authors, not in the meaning of age,
Mm.
who write together. And with the summit, I now am brave enough to start it like all over the world. So for
Mm.
Europe, it's on Sunday. It's one Sunday a month from 10 to 12 noon. So I want to start now a group before from 8 to 10 for the Australian people.
Mm.
It's evening there. And then one in the afternoon for US and Canada. So I
Mm-hmm.
have all time zones and I have one Sunday per month writing all day with
Yes.
different people from all over the world. So that is one thing I want to start after the summit, to invite people. Be brave, just show up and
Yes.
start writing with other writers in
Write
that
for
online club.
yourself. Write
Yeah.
for yourself. And then those that read it, they will let you know how you've made them feel. Right? Again, we have been so conditioned to conform, the shoulds, and you can't do this unless you're that, and nobody's going to do this and that. No, I just, shut the chatter up, please. It is why do I want to do this? Why is it that the words want to come out of me and go onto the page? Right? And it's let them free. Let them pour onto the page. There's this thing called editing, right? Pour it out. You can look at it and edit it afterwards, but pour it out. And there are so many people I've interviewed. I've been doing this nearly 14 years. So many people I've interviewed that wrote that first book and they go, oh my God, but now there's so many books flooding to come out of me, right? You know, I've broken the ice with the one and now there's one
Yeah.
story after the other that wants to come out. Case in point, yourself.
Yeah. And that's happening if you really let it out. That's
Yes.
the thing. Yeah. Yes. And some people, want to know, how do I write the bestseller?
Mm,
And I always tell them, you never know.
right.
So please write it for yourself, because writing success, that's like a shy deer.
Mm,
The wind has to be in the right direction and the weather and everything. You never can promise a bestseller. But if you write it from your heart,
mm-hmm.
what you just said, then you have the success in your heart. And if it then becomes a bestseller, yeah, well done. Perfect, right? The next one.
And the thing is getting the first draft down as you
Yes.
reread it. Now, this needs a bit more structure here, or this needs another person in here. You know, it's become your template in which to build from and build other characters. And what I love, especially now you've broken out into kind of, not just self-help books, but other things, is for everybody I ever speak to that's an author, it's how the characters take on a life of their own and start writing themselves. And it's like
Yes.
kind of you're in discovery of what this character is going to do next, even though it's your finger on the typeboard.
That's the most amazing part when writing fiction.
Mm,
It happened to me in my last novel that there was one person who really wanted to write themselves into the main character
mm.
position. I was like, hey, you're not the main character. I've chosen one already. But
Yes.
what an amazing character. So that was my first crime novel. And I first of all wanted some people to die because it's a crime novel,
Crime
and
novel, yes.
that person was one of them. And I thought, oh, I cannot do that.
Yeah,
So,
this person's too alive.
so the whole story changed
Yeah,
itself with this character, and it was so much fun to
yeah,
then leave it like it is, and yeah, let them all alive. And
right.
it's now not a real crime novel, but I don't care. It's written itself.
Yes. And it's not like, paint by numbers. It's not write by numbers. There's so many people, well, you've got to take this right because you need to know the name of every chapter. You need to know this and that for everything, and then just slot in the chapter. And I don't think that is allowing the story to evolve. I think it's you start off, and then, as you said, these characters come in and they start kind of upstaging other characters, and that you've
Yeah.
got to follow them because it's like, well, where are you going? What are you doing? And we forget that it is our fingers on the keyboard, right? We forget that this is coming from us. It's almost like so many people from other dimensions have just come into our minds and into our hands and just decided to join the party. Let them. It's so much fun. Let them.
Yeah, it is. And with that, you are growing as an
Mm,
author. If you
yeah,
realize, oh, just, yeah, let it go, then you are growing.
yeah,
And then something is happening with you as an author. And for the next book, it's then you can choose, hey, which story is now
yeah.
the most important one? And you
Right.
can choose. Or in my case, I'm most of the time writing on three different books at the same time because it's so important in which mood I am when I'm
Right.
writing.
Yes.
And so
Perhaps a little
I just
ADD there, I
let it
relate.
happen. Yeah, let it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that mood is important. Like my brother's quite disciplined when he's writing. It's that
Hmm.
everything is written by hand first, and then when he writes, it's at a certain time. And for some people, they like the routine because that's when they can open up their channel, right? And for others, like, no, I'll just wait for it to come to me, and
Hmm.
then it is just a download, right? So you've got to
Yeah.
know how is it for you? And the only way you're going to discover that is to try different mediums and then see which one works for you. For me, it's a download.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how much I try and prepare. It's always the download.
Absolutely. Most of the time, I tell people who are in my courses the first time, at the first session, we find out how it works for you. Like what you just said, find it out. Do you need to write half an hour per day? Or do
Mm,
you need every Sunday afternoon? Or do you need something special to like free your thoughts?
yes.
Maybe, hot coffee and a bagel or whatsoever.
Good music.
What
Yeah.
do you need to
Mm,
start it off?
yes.
And uh, and
What
then
gets you into the flow?
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And
Hmm.
that's
And
discovery.
yeah, it is. And don't listen to too many people
Yeah.
because everybody will tell you something different.
Hmm.
I think it's so important to find out, and even when you're stuck, because most people at one point or the other get stuck with the
Yeah.
writing. What can you do then? So find out what helps you. I have one student, and she says, whenever I'm stuck, I write with my left hand because we did that exercise once in the
Right.
training. And she said, it's amazing what's happening to my brain when I'm
Mm.
just using my wrong hand. And she says, that's absolutely breaking.
Yeah, and
And
then there's people like myself is like because of the dyslexia very often that kind of there. I always thought I'd audio my book and then transcribe it and then ended up writing
mm,
it. But like when I'm doing my blogs or things like this, very often it's ordering it or I kind of do it on Zoom and then I can take the transcript and then from the transcript I can organize it, but it's free falling, and I'm an audio person, so I need to speak it, I need to come it out,
mhm,
and so that you're still an author, right? It's still going down on a
yes, yeah,
page. It's like
yeah.
which way. There are many people that I'm God, what was her name? I grew up with Barbara Cartland love story books, and she just churned them
Okay.
out, all these loves, stories. And she had one person that was writing them while she was just, oh, ordering them, dictating them. And that thing
Oh,
is
wow.
that there are many people now, especially that, do a lot of books. They just dictate and somebody else
Mhm,
writes. And of course, now you can
mhm,
just, go and do it on Zoom or other medium platforms that transcribe while you're speaking. And then you can take that, and rearrange it or edit it or whatever. But whichever way your flow comes, set it free and make that discovery. And don't write to please people, write to please yourself. And if it's really uplifted yourself, then it's going to uplift someone else.
That's very wise. That's exactly the thing how it works.
Hmm.
And it's like a book can really change your life.
Yeah.
Um, Especially another student of mine, she's a very shy person, and she had to, I told her, present your book, to an audience, otherwise nobody will know.
Right.
And after that presentation, I went with her and supported her. Um, she said, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life that I spoke in front of 50 people.
Hmm.
And I thought, I'm too shy for that. I'm not good enough. All the things people come up with. And she said, and now I did it. And these are the moments where I think, oh, God, I'd wish that for every person on this world,
Exactly.
this chance. Oh my God. It's so
Everybody
amazing.
perceives me as an extrovert. I'm actually an
Yeah.
introvert. And growing up, I was an incredibly shy kid, incredibly shy. But I also had always people coming to me for conversation, for wisdom I didn't even know I had that just got downloaded for the person. Um, but it was always small, intimate conversations. And I'm still like that. I prefer the one-on-one or the few. I'm not a big crowd
Mhm.
person. And everybody thinks I have all the confidence in the world. Well, I don't want a big arena. I can't manage the energies. I like to be somewhere where I can tap into the energy and the energy can be conducted like a flow, right? But it is that when you've done it, which very often you don't remember a thing, but when you've done it and people are receiving it, then it's like, gosh, I didn't know I could do that. It's the same with the podcasting. When somebody asked me to
Yeah.
join their network, what's a podcast? The first show I did, I pressed all the wrong buttons. I'm interviewing people from all over the world, and it's like, I didn't know I could do
Mhm.
that. It's a willingness to try. We don't know what we can do until we're willing to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did
That's
you
the
know
thing.
you
And
could be an author? Did you know that you could teach people about writing? Being the
I
astrologer and all
always
of that.
wanted to
Yeah,
become an author, but
exactly.
but from kids' age to
Yes.
growing up, many of the dreams get destroyed. And
Yes.
then I had to become 44. And then I thought there was a dream once. I wanted to
Yeah.
become an author. Now I do it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing is, that's a whole another gamut there of, how we squash children's dreams instead of fueling them
Yeah.
and giving them the structure and the skills and tools that they need to apply to those dreams. Instead, it's conform, do as you're told. You're not allowed independent thought, which is
Mhm.
that's what the Our Forgotten Children book was about. The more we support people, and the thing is, you can't stifle that dream forever because whatever age you are, middle age, the last chapter of your life, whatever it is, it's going to come out and say, no, you have to set me free. This is what I'm here on this earth for. You have to set
Yeah.
me free. All right. And we need to pay attention to that. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting the cosmic 2x4 until we pay attention.
Mhm. That's the important thing, to listen to this message
Yes.
inside yourself.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just a tiny voice, but it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe sometimes it's just when you think back of what you dreamt of when you were a kid at the age
Mm-hmm.
of 10 or 12. And then the big dream comes back. Oh, yeah, I remember. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to do. Yeah.
There's somebody I interviewed, Sherry Think, and she as a child wrote stories all the time, and then she went into marketing, go and get a real job, and did very well at it. And she said one day she's in a traffic jam, and a story started coming out, and she didn't have enough paper, so she started writing on her arm, right? And then all of these children's stories came out, and now she is a prolific story writer
Mhm.
for children and world famous and everything else because it just came flooding out of that. She couldn't ignore it. And everything that she had learned gave her the skills to apply. But it's like you can't deny it. You've got to set it free. So stop
Mhm.
dictating what you should be and allow yourself to come through.
Yeah.
So tell me about the astrology because I'm a Libra, and I know that very much
Oh,
astrology, and I take the Chineseology, numerology, and astrology put together. And of course, this year, the year of the horse, which I'm a Libra, and we're in numerology number 1. So this is the year of radical new beginnings, which we definitely need. But what got you into astrology?
that was a crazy story. I had 5 severe accidents within 1.5 years.
Mm.
And not only with skydiving, which would be the normal thought you'd have, no,
No,
also
we want
like
that
a
parachute to open.
motorcycle accident, and then walking. And so after the 5th accident, I really was scared that whatever I do, something happens.
Mm.
And I went to a psychotherapist and asked her, do you think I'm a self-destroying person? Maybe, I don't know. So she started laughing. She really she loved it. She said, oh, yeah, I don't
Far
think
from
you
it.
are a person like that, but I don't know why you have that many accidents within those few months, but would you be interested to take an astrological look at that?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this woman has gone crazy.
Uh-huh.
So I really had never anything to do with astrology before.
Mm-hmm.
And this was 14 years ago. 14 years, yeah. So she then gave me an address of the lady, and I went there. And I never had done that before. I wasn't even interested. And she told me stuff about myself. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
she cannot know that. It helped a lot
Of releasing.
with, yeah, I was blown away.
Mm-hmm.
And I booked a 3 years academy at she had a school, that lady. Within a second, I said, I wanna learn that. I wanna
Yeah.
know how this works. So I started from 22 students. I started as the only one who had never done any astrological things before and didn't believe it at all. So that was a real, very
Resistance is
intense
futile.
training. Yeah. And I promised myself whenever because from that time till now I had over 500 clients, and I
Mm.
promised myself, whenever somebody says what you tell me is completely trash, not true, never heard that before, I stop. But this never happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so amazing because I'm not a fortune teller. I'm a psychological astrologer, meaning I ask questions. I try my best to help with what I see in the energies of the
Mm-hmm.
birth chart and what's going on at the moment. And I'd say 90% of people who like had a session with me say, oh gosh, that helped a lot.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people, of course, they don't want to tell anything. They
Mm-hmm.
hope that you just tell them. And of course, they are not that happy, but I always offer, hey, listen, ask me questions. It's better for you. It's about your growth, not mine.
Participate. Yes, exactly. Yeah, got to participate. I don't think people actually
Yeah.
understand how impactful all of this is. It's
Yeah.
like, um, oh, yeah, so what, you're a Libra, or so what, you're a this or that. But we don't realize the hour you were born, under which moon, under which this, under which that. And of
Yes.
course, as for me, obviously, with the numerology and Chineseology in there as well, all of it has an impact on your personality trait, on the way you walk in life, and when you should and should not walk. When to just sit on your butt for this one, and it becomes a guidance system, and again an understanding and an awareness of why you are the way you are, or why things happen to you, or which path to take. And it's an assistant to you, so why don't we
Mm.
use it?
Yeah. Sometimes it even helps people so much if you tell them, listen, you are okay the way you are.
Yes.
These are your shoes for this life.
Yeah,
Walk them. Don't try to put on other shoes. They were
exactly.
like,
Exactly. If they're all too
and
small,
this
stop playing
helps so
Cinderella.
much. Yeah.
You are the ugly sister, own it. And that's the thing again. It goes back to that dictation from society of trying to slot us all in a box. And when we realize there is no box, right? There is an understanding. There's an understanding of our character and everything about ourselves. And that understanding is a wonderful weave, a wonderful blanket. And how we use that blanket
Mm.
is then our choice. But the more we understand why we are the way we are, the better we are at navigating our lives. And I think that's so very important. And
Yeah.
we owe it to ourselves to explore not just what we can do or new adventures, but why are we why are we prone to this? Or why are we drawn to that? Or why do I react this way to this? Or why am I attracted to that kind of, person? And the more we actually understand the chart and the way that we've been designed, even with human design, the better it is that we can make choices because we have a better understanding of the why.
Yeah. Yes. The why and the how even.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how you do things. See, this is your equipment. That's how
Yeah.
you do things. Of course, you can like fill up your toolbox with growing older,
Mm-hmm.
but we all know a Libra person will always do things different
Mm-hmm.
than an Aries person.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely different. Other
Oh,
direction.
yes. 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 And of course, I'm a Libran horse. So I'll go back to the stable, and I love to curl up at the stable at the end of the day, but give me the field to run in, right? And of
Yeah.
course, I've been the plow horse, I've been the breeding horse, um, a racehorse to a point, and now I just want to be, the free horse. And it's
Mhm.
actually understanding, what stage are we at according to our age and our experience? It isn't just like one, that's it for the rest of your life. It's going to change as you walk through life.
It changes, you grow, you get more tools
Yes,
and more wisdom, of course.
exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, Librans is always the pain of trying to balance everything and to realize that, there is no balance. It's not about high and low. It's about trying to just keep the seesaw from going high or low, keeping it in a
Mhm.
momentum and understanding that. And I think when you actually understand what your sign stands for, you work with it instead of against it,
Yes.
which is
And
important.
yeah, and then I guess that's the point when we say in astrology, then you are grown up
Yeah.
if you realize that. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
that's it.
And of course, with the summit, it's, there's so much more to grow. It's the
Yes.
voices of growth and success, and that's the whole reason behind it is that how have we grown? What have we learned as we grow? What are we willing to still learn? And to understand it isn't the status quo, it isn't complacency, it isn't like, well, I've made it now, I don't need to make any effort. There's, we have various chapters. Oh, well, this chapter's, I've done very well in this chapter. What is the next chapter in your book of life? And that
Mhm.
willingness to grow into that next chapter and let those characters of life, come in and assist you. And it's that willingness to allow, surrender and allow. You have more control in surrendering and allowing than you do in trying to be in control.
Oh, yes.
We know how that works. God laughs. Yes. Yeah. So, how do people get hold of you if they want to do the whole astrology thing? How do people get hold of you if they want to be a part of the books and or the workshops that are going to be coming up?
Mhm.
And of course, let's give them the whole summit link as well so that they can sign up for that. It is free. It takes place over 2 weeks, so you can dip in and out over those 2 weeks. And it's given, and brought to you with love from all the people that are participating. So share some links on.
Okay. You want me to like read the links now, or do you share them in the show
Yeah,
notes?
but I want people who are listening to also be able to hear what they are, because not everybody
Okay.
goes back to the page.
Okay, so first of all, the Voices of Growth and Success Summit is a pretty long URL. It's voices, a little, what's that sign?
Dash, yeah, voices. If you put in the Voices of Growth Summit dot system,
Yeah, system.
SYSTEME dot c20-11.io//sign in. And of course,
Yes.
anybody who's listening to this on any of the audio platforms, if you just go to the information there, there is a link that goes back to the show page with all the links, and you can sign in from there as well. So it's really important. Voices of Growth Summit System IO sign in, and just you can sign up for it now. It starts April 1st. It's all online. It goes on for 2 weeks. It is free, and it's full of wisdom. Now, for your books, they can find them on Amazon. Can you spell your name, please, so people can find your books
Yes.
under your name?
Okay. That's Romana, Romana, Hasenöl, which is HASENOEHRL, because the Ö is like German character. You don't have it on the English tab.
Okay.
And for the writing courses or the astrology, people can send me an email. I guess that's the easiest way. That's easy. It's info@astrologie, ASTROLOGIE, not a Y, it's an IE, .im, like Mark. And
your website?
That is the website. I have an English website, which is just romana.rocks.
That's an easy one. Romana.rocks.
That's easy, isn't it?
So if people are interested in signing up for, for the for the books, or for the astrology or anything like this, they can find all of that under there.
Romana Rocks is especially for my English-speaking audience, and they will find my email address there. And as soon as the book club, the writing club starts for the English-speaking people, you find the date there and sign up page and everything.
Wonderful. And this is the thing about everything that you're offering on your social medias as well. Is that under your name?
Yes. You will find it under my name. I have a German-speaking Insta channel, but I think that's not very interesting.
Unless somebody who is German-speaking who's listening, right? So, right, you never know.
That's Lesen, Schreiben, Happiness, which is Read, Write, Happiness. And that's an Insta channel where I talk about books. Show what I read at the moment, what I like at the moment, and of course, at the moment, you will find some promotion for the summit there. And yeah, that's it.
Excellent. And, please sign up for the summit. As I said, if you're listening to the show and you can't remember all these links, then simply look at the information on whatever listening platform. You will see a link that will come back to the show page with all of the links there. Sign up now for the summit. It is on April 1st. It goes for 2 weeks. Don't forget to share if you've listened to somebody. Or you want other people to sign up as well, and then you're going to listen together and have that conversation. It's a good excuse to have a cheese and wine party, listen to the summit, and then have a discussion about it. Make it an event on each one. Which ones really spoke to you, which ones, kind of weren't quite for you, but somebody else really got something out of it. That's the thing, when we share what we've got out of it, how it moved us or what we learned from it, it is expanding the wisdom. All right, that's the thing. Don't just keep it to yourself. If you've listened to something and you go, oh, I know somebody who needs to listen to this, or I'm going to share it with my social media, in that 2 weeks, you can sign up anytime and listen to it. And then, as I said, she's coming up with a way that you can purchase the whole show list after that, which will be announced within that 2-week platform. And there's all sorts of us over there. It is like a box of chocolates. We're all bringing you a different kind of chocolate. I gained the nut one. I'm nutty. So you're going to have different wisdom from different people. And just come and listen, Come immerse yourself into it. Speak about it, share about it, absorb it, because that's what it's about. And if you're interested in being part of the writing, reach out to her. If you're interested in the astrology and how it works for you, reach out, because she's here to serve you, right? She knows what she loves to do. She comes from a place of love and passion, and she's there to serve you and help you discover your own. So, thank you so much for inviting me to be on that summit. I'm very, very proud to be so. And I'm really coming and sharing everything you're doing today. And when do you get off in your van and go off for another 4-month ride?
On May 1st.
Look at her, she's counting down. And the exploration happens. Wonderful, wonderful. And believe me, my daughter would love to do that if she could. She's always loved the old Volkswagen van and love to deck it out and just go traveling. So yeah, wonderful. And 40 years old, that van, folks, it just shows, if with loving care and looking after something, it can last forever. That's including us. So until next time, folks, remember, come and join us on the Growth Summit. Listen to the wisdom, share the wisdom, let it ignite the wings, the wind underneath your wings. And remember, we're all here to participate in life. And the more we do so, the more we uplift everybody. So until next time, folks, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you to listen to right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Come and hear the illumination that's going to shed light on your path.
Find your path with the knowledge of others.